What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Glocks in 2025. Should you own them? Is it a good platform to either start on or just kind of use as your defense tools? Because that's the biggest point we try and focus on this channel is defense tools. So, before the video gets started, we will show clear on all firearms, no magazine in the gun. We are clear. No magazine in the gun, nothing in the chamber. No magazine in the gun, nothing in the chamber. And magazine in the gun, but nothing in the chamber and nothing in the magazine. So, we have a sort of array of Glocks sitting out here. Different sizes, different calibers, to kind of give y'all an idea of what there is to offer from this platform and kind of what you get if you choose. We're going to touch on kind of choosing an ecosystem or platform to stick with and why I think that's a good idea. I feel like a lot of people get caught up in the newest carry gun, or they have a million different carry guns, and that can really create a huge carry rotation. And that's like I said, a completely different discussion for a different video. But if you carry a Hellcat on this day and a Glock on this day and a SIG on this day and this, that, and the third, it can really make things sloppy. So, for example, I try and carry Glocks. Now, what I'm trying to do, because I like I said, I'm transitioning from my Hellcat Pro, and that's easier said than done. So I think really what I'll do is summer we'll orient ourselves around Springfield, and then wintertime we'll orient ourselves around Glock. So we might talk about that in a separate video maybe, but right now I'm trying to only look at Glock platform pistols when it comes to striker fired guns. So when it comes to striker fired pistols, I'm trying to stick to a certain platform. And what does that mean? So use this as an example. This is a 43X. It has a 10 round mag capacity. So stick that in the gun. There you go. This is a great carry piece. A slim frame. Like I said, only 10 rounds in the gun. That's really the one downfall. This is not the MOS version, so you can get an optics ready version and one that comes with a rail. I believe all the 43Xs will now be coming with a rail, whether you get MOS or not. So this, as far as that goes, is there's a few slim frame options as far as like this in the 43 and the 42. This feels like a Glock, simply enough. Moving on up, we're going to do this one before this one. Can't explain why, but this is a Glock 19 size frame. Don't mind the slide. The slide is a tidbit thicker on the 23 Gen 5s than on a 19 or the previous Gen 23s. But as far as frame goes, this is the same thing. Okay. Now they feel different because it is a little wider. But as far as picking these up, if I was to pick this one up and pick this one up, they feel the exact same. They work the exact same. They're oriented the exact same. Everything about it is the same. Besides the fact that this has, because the Gen 5s, this is not really a Gen 5. This was made near Gen 5, so it has some Gen 5 features, but this is not really a Gen 5. That's really the only difference. So slight differences like that don't really matter. But as far as grip angle, this, that, and third, now Glock gets killed for their grip angle. I get it. It's not the greatest. One thing I do love about Glock's grip angle is it locks my wrist forward. So you kind of lock your wrists in a way that helps mitigate recoil with the low bore axis. It works. I can't explain it. It works. It feels comfortable after you've shot Glocks for a while. It really does. You can argue that it's not comfortable at first. I get it. It's not. It might not even be comfortable after shooting for a while, but it helps you mitigate recoil so well, and you can really lock this gun down with that grip angle. So yes, the grip angle is not a classic one, but I think the grip angle really has its benefits. So I said what I said, but whenever I pick this one up, especially when I pick, well, we're gonna scoot these over, especially when I pick all three of these up. This one's gonna have a thicker slide, but gonna generally feel the exact same. This one has some tape wrapped around it, don't mind that. Same feel, everything. I tend to run beaver tails on all the Glocks I can. It tends to help me even lock my wrists even more. It does make the grip bigger. It does make it a little more blocky, but I'm telling you, the beaver tail grip just helps you lock your grip in so well, and you can really fucking ramp down on this pistol and just hold it like no other. I can't explain it. The grip I get on Glocks just feels locked in, and it feels like I can fight recoil really well on these guys. That's one reason why I choose them. They all feel the same. Picking them up, boom, 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 even though they're different calibers, different sizes, even different thickness in some cases. They all feel the same, and they all feel relatively intuitive to just pick up and just go. So that's one thing I really like about sticking to a platform and an ecosystem. Plus parts, a lot of these are interchangeable regardless of caliber, and you can even change the barrel and the ejector out on this guy and run these mags, and these are essentially good to go. Or you can swap the slides on them and maybe even the ejector, and you have two pistols that turn into four. So I think the next reason is going to just be that they're good tools, and that's going to kind of caveat off of that is just Glocks are great tools. I mean, I can't think of a better gun to buy for a specific purpose, whether it be any of these. And like I said, I try and get an array of different guns so I can cover a lot of different bases. But I tried to bring an array out here to kind of show y'all the different options and kind of, I mean, now you don't have to choose Glock. Like you can choose whatever platform you want, but just sticking to that platform and ecosystem is very key in my opinion. Like I said, I do enjoy some Springfields, and I have some other guns that I do throw into the mix every once in a while. So I'm preaching to the choir here, and I'm not necessarily saying that I follow it 100%, but I'm trying to move more towards Glock-oriented firearms and platform firearms, and whether it be clones, like I have a dagger that I need to finish out. Haven't said no to the RXM yet, so I just think these being as simple and reliable as they are, with the track record that they have, I mean, these have been used in law enforcement and civilian use for years, since the 80s or so, and they've been doing it well. I mean, I believe there are a lot of forces going back to Glock over something like the 320. So that brings up a lot of cases about reliability. Is that the number one? Is that the number one thing you care about? Something pointing at your dick all day, every day, that you want to be able to trust and say that it's not going to hurt you? I mean, I would say that's one of the most important aspects of a gun, is safety. I mean, you do not want to carry anything that's unsafe, whether it be a knife, a firearm. You don't want to carry anything that's unsafe. And so, especially something pointing at something so important as really any body part, whether you carry appendix or whether you carry strong side or what, I don't think it matters. I think that these being very reliable, and I know that if I'm carrying this with one in the head, which obviously we don't have one in the head right now, and I was to smack the shit out of it or drop it or anything like that, I would not be concerned about this thing going off. So reliability is super big, and the fact that I can take this thing apart, field strip it very easily, figure out what I need to figure out, and clean mostly what I need to clean to be able to make this thing run very smoothly, I think is also another key point. The aftermarket availability and just the aftermarket support for these guns are insane. You want a light for it, you want a holster for it. Now I will say some of the weirder models, some of the goofier size models might be harder to find certain aftermarket parts for, but as far as like a Glock 19, 26, 43X, 19X, 17, whatever the case may be, you are going to find the part you need for it. These are like Legos for adults, essentially. You can change the trigger out, and one thing I will say, don't change a lot of key points of your carry pistols. All of these are, besides this one is really more just sentimental, so we'll set that one aside. But all of these right here are defense-oriented pistols. That's the point of Glock, in my opinion. You can get these. I want to throw this by y'all and see if y'all would like to see this, but grabbing an inexpensive police trade-in and upgrading it out the wazoo and sort of comparing it to a stock. But I just think that'd be fun, instead of, spending oodles and oodles of money on. I saw a comment on one of my videos. It was like, a lot of people are out here buying these 2011s. I'm out here buying police trading Glocks and souping them up. I think souping up a police trading Glock would be a great idea for a video, and just a fun concept, really, in general. But the fact that these are so, in what you want to call modular, in the sense of Glock, simplistic, reliable, all the different options. I know they're discontinuing a lot of models, but the amount of calibers and sizes and compatibility that they have is just second to none. And I think it's something that you really have got to look at whenever looking for a firearm, is how common are they? If the world ended, I want a Glock 26, because it'll take 19 mags, 17 mags, all that, and 9mm is the most common round. So what is your opinion? Is Glock the best to own in just the end of the world scenario, just in general, just for self-defense? Please, like I said, like and subscribe, comment what you think, and I'll check you on the next video. Take it easy.